Greetings to all our friends back home from the States. We're live from Austin, one of the tracks with the highest elevation gain in the entire championship.
So
In a
it'll
few
be the
moments, we'll move to
Martinator
the
who
main
will
straight.
launch from P1 for the second time this season. He leads a blockbuster Ducati top 5 with Jack Miller and Pecco Bagnaia lining up alongside him. Finishing off the Ducati juggernaut in 4th and 5th is Johann Zarco and Enea Bastianini, accompanied on the second row by reigning world champion Fabio Quartararo. And on the third row, it's Suzuki teammates Alex Rins and Joan Mir, accompanied by COTA specialist Marc Marquez in 9th. On row 4, it's Taka Nakagami, Luca Marini and Pol Espargaro. Row 5 is spearheaded by Aprilia teammates Aleix Espargaro and Maverick Vinales, accompanied by Andrea Dovizioso. On row 6, it's Marco Bezzecchi, Brad Binder and Fabio Di Gianantonio. On row 7 we have Franco Morbidelli, Miguel Oliveira and Raul Fernandez, and on the last row it's Remy Gardner, Alex Marquez and Darren Binder.
The red lights will come on very, very shortly as it's soon going to be time to take the horsepower Romeo, who's the King of COTA in 2022. Great launch on the line by Jorge Martin, likewise Jack Miller. Here comes Fabio Quartararo as well on the inside. Where's Marc Marquez?
He's plumb last,
he missed the
He
start.
had a terrible start. Marc Marquez didn't get away at all. He is right at the very back of the field.
I was looking for him in the top 5, expecting to get a superb launch. A nightmare then for Marc Marquez. The King of COTA dumped all the way to the back of the pack. What on earth happened to Marquez off the line?
Quartararo's up a place. He's got ahead of one of the Pramac Ducatis. It must be Johann Zarco is down in 6th position. The Suzukis have not gained ground. They've both dropped a place. Rins and Mir down to 8th and 9th.
So it's Jack Miller that leads them from the pole man Jorge Martin, as we expected. 4 Ducatis inside that top 4. Great start for Fabio Quartararo. He's already picked off fellow Frenchman Johann Zarco, the world champion there in 5th place, but an absolute disaster for the King of COTA, Marc Marquez, all the way at the back of the grid into that first corner. He's already picked up a couple of places, now into 22nd.
The Suzukis have dealt with Takaki Nakagami already. They're both back up to where they started in 7th and 8th, but the top 2 already building up a bit of a lead up the front. Martin didn't have too much straight line speed, he said yesterday, but he doesn't have any trouble following Jack Miller. Bastianini is coming past Francesco Bagnaia. Bastianini already up into 3rd.
Well, Marc Marquez has launched some stunning attacks from the back of the pack before in his Grand Prix career. If he does it here today in COTA, this will rank as the very, very best. So hard to overtake nowadays in Monday MotoGP. A mountain to climb for Marquez early on here in COTA. There's the name Bastianini, one of the big pre-race favourites in 3rd place. Here comes Martin up the inside of Jack Miller into turn 19. Beautifully done. Nothing that Miller could do about there. He left the door open. Martin said, thank you very much. Miller, though, trying to exact instant retaliation. He does. Up the inside of the Martinator into turn 20. A great action here early on in COTA between the two Ducatis. Miller will lead at the end of lap 1.
Bastianini looked a little bit wide to the final corner. You can see already what Fabio Quartararo is dealing with down that main straight. He's just been blasted past. He manages to outbrake Johann Zarco. It looked as if he was going to take 5th position, but that's crucial for Fabio Quartararo. He's been able to get away with that leading group. Already a little bit of a gap back. You can see Rins coming steaming up the inside of Mir. He's going to get Zarco too. Rins having to bail out of that one ever so slightly, but the Suzuki's already trying to get aggressive. Here's a look at the start. Keep an eye on Marc Marquez. Just doesn't get away. Just bogs it down completely.
That looks like the launch control or something was still activated, or something there. Look at the data here. Has he got the pit lane speed limiter on, maybe? Something has happened there, hasn't it, for Marc Marquez? I wonder if he's mistakenly got the pit lane speed limiter on. Of course, they're limited to 60 k's an hour, or there was a problem with the launch control. What was not in question, what was not in doubt, was it was a shocker for Marc Marquez. 9th place on the grid, knew he had to be aggressive to try and recover those places early on, and he got dumped all the way to the back of the pack by the time we got to the first corner. It's a top 5 for Ducati in the early part of this COTA Grand Prix, as it was on the grid. Mechanical problem for Marco Bezzecchi. He's getting the black flag with the orange disc. He's also getting the message on his dashboard as well. Let's have a quick Marquez check. Next in his sights is going to be Maverick Vinales in 13th place. down this 1200 metre back straightaway. You're not going to be able to outdrag a Ducati, that's for sure. It's Ducati versus Ducati versus Ducati versus Ducati versus Ducati. And here comes Zarco up the inside of Pecco Bagnaia. Bagnaia hasn't got the early race pace to be expected from him so far, the Italian, although he fights straight back. Zarco nibbling that place on the inside of him at turn 12, just running a little bit hot. Bagnaia swept straight back on through, and he's back in fourth.
Aleix Espargaro is coming under pressure from his brother Paul, I saw in the back of the screens as well. Here is Marc Marquez then. This is the action he's up to. This was him trying to get past Maverick Vinales, and he goes way off. Brett Binder has to suddenly get out of the way. Marquez out braking himself completely.
I'll tell you what, he was out of control there, wasn't he? So easy that mistake to make from the forks bottom out. The rear comes off the ground into turn 1. Plan A certainly for Jack Miller. The thriller leads by a couple of tenths of a second. Zarco again. Can he finally make this move stick on Pecco Bagnaia? Bagnaia's not going to let him have it easily, is he? But this time around, Zarco will have the inside line for the sweep down through this super fast turn 2. Zarco finally then back into P4. The Ducatis are just backing off ever so slightly, and that's bringing Alex Rins and Quartararo back into contention. Here comes Rins up the inside of Quartararo into turn 12. Is he in a little bit hot? It looks like he is, although he'll have the inside line now for 13. Yet Quartararo can't turn in. So a bit of a block pass there from Rins on Quartararo into 12.
Rins clearly feels he's got the pace to get further up this leading group. Of course, he's the only rider here to win this Grand Prix, not named Marc Marquez. And Alex Rins, crucially for him and for this pack of Suzukis and of course Fabio Quartararo, but the fact that the Ducatis are still just ahead of them, none of them have been able to make a break out front. They're still very much in touch with the leader. They've just got an awful lot of Ducati GP22s and of course the 21 here of Enea Bastianini to overtake if they're going to get their way to the front.
Yeah, and as it stands, if you threw the checkered flag now, we'd have a tie between Bastianini and Aleix Espargaro for the World Championship lead going to the crucial European phase of the championship in Portimao in a couple of weeks' time.
Mir now gets past Quartararo. Quartararo drops another place to 8th.
Yeah, well, last two MotoGP World Champions having a titanic tussle here in Texas. Is Abantis Mir. What a shot this is. On board with Quartararo. Oh, you can almost reach out and touch Mir, can't he, through this snaking first sector. Perfect time to ride on board with Fabio Quartararo. Marc Marquez, blue on blue, Repsol Honda on Repsol Honda, and Marquez just nudges his teammate Paul Espargaro aside through turn number 12, and Marquez then on lap number 7 finally his rapid recovery continues. He's back in the top 10. Here comes Alex Rins again. We've seen this 2 or 3 times from him. It's the block pass, just trying to find a way through on Zarco. He makes the move again on the brakes into turn number 11, and now is it going to be another demoralising experience? The Ducati just strips the paint off the side of that Suzuki. This time around, yeah, Zarco with a bit of slipstream, not that a Ducati needs it down that 1200 metre back straight. He got in hot though. Now then, can Alex Rins, if he can get ahead of the Ducati here, he's going to have the superior corner speed, the better turning on that Suzuki. This could be crucial now for Alex Rins' podium challenge.
Bastianini on Martin.
Ladies and gentlemen, who is the fastest man on the circuit? It's Marc Marquez in 9th place with a 2:03.619.
Bastianini up to 2nd then. Bastianini from defending Alex Rins has now gone through on Jorge Martin, got past him into turn 1. Miller up the pace on that last lap. He did a 2:03.897, pulled out a lead of 7/10 of a second on Jorge Martin, and that fired Bastianini into action. Yeah, Quartararo's got big bother coming from Marquez soon. Here comes Alex Rins up the inside of Jorge Martin into turn 7. Beautifully done by the Suzuki man. It's been a poor lap this so far. Then lap 12 for Jorge Martin. He's been picked off by Bastianini. He's been picked off by Rins and dropped from 2nd to 4th. Rins then into the podium positions. Does he now follow Bastianini up through the field as Bagnaia now has to go on Zarco? That's a late launch. That is a block pass from Pecco Bagnaia. He was almost at a standstill, wasn't he, at the apex of turn number 11. He really disrupted Johan Zarco's rhythm. That's allowing Joan Mir to maybe launch an attack down this long back straight as well. Don't think Mir's going to have the top speed on the Suzuki to get through. And Zarco trying to pay back on Bagnaia. Oh, that's a raid. That's not going to work out. And he's going to lose places to Pecco Bagnaia and to Joan Mir. That was just Johan Zarco getting a little bit frustrated there, not liking the fact that Bagnaia blooded his nose into turn number 11, and he runs in too hot at turn 12. the two Pramac Ducatis, both Jorge Martin and Johan Zarco, starting to slip backwards. Here's Marc Marquez then on the 93 in 9th position. His gap to the leader is 5 seconds. Probably too much for Marc Marquez to make his way all the way to the front. But can he now get himself into this top 6? Fabio Quartararo is doing his level best. He's lapping in the 2:04s. But
Quartararo and Martin behind him. Johan Zarco's challenge has really dropped out of contention. He's down in 9th. All of a sudden, Zarco's 10 seconds away from race leader Enea Bastianini, clearly working hard to keep himself in podium contention early on. Zarco's got no grip left at all.
Bastianini has just shown that incredible late race pace once again. I was just about to mention that lap time. The fact that Bastianini on lap 18 of this America's Grand Prix is still able to pull out a 2:03.5. Quite incredible late race pace from the man who's about to lead the MotoGP World Championship once again.
Amazing, absolutely amazing job that this man's done so far. Enea Bastianini was happy just to settle into the race, top 3 in the first half, and then slowly started to move his way to the front, and there was a kind of air of inevitability about it, wasn't it, when he hit the front, through on Jack Miller. As Lewis said, his race pace, considering how worn those Michelin tyres are, this is his forte. This is what he does as good as anybody else in the world right now. Time management has been a super strength of Enea Bastianini. Alex Rins is going to throw everything at it, isn't he? Quartararo and Marquez are having a titanic tussle, aren't they? 4th-6th spot. They exchange another overtake in this second sector. Great stuff between Quartararo and Marquez. Here comes Alex Rins then. This has been his favourite overtaking spot in the whole race. On the inside of Miller into turn number 11. He's in second.
Miller unable to cut it back and try and get the drive onto this back straight. Rins will have to go defensive into turn 12. Miller is looking to just blast straight past, and indeed he does. He'll now want to cover the inside line himself and stop Alex Rins from getting up the inside. Rins too far back into 12. Miller looks like he's held on to second place for now. Just a few more corners to go. Where can Rins now try and find a way past? No way through into 13. 15 might well be the last potential opportunity for him, which is this next left-hander coming up just in a few corners time. Here we go, Miller still too far in front.
Here he comes in the inside of Miller into turn 19. Has he got the job done for second place? But it's going to be the beast through the final corner. Enea Bastianini, all hail the new King of Kota in 2022. Enea Bastianini takes a famous second win of the season here at the Red Bull Grand Prix of the Americas. Alex Rins with a stunning last lap. He takes second from Jack Miller. Miller holds on for 3rd place. Mir takes 4th. Pecco Bagnaia's podium challenge disappeared. He was 5th. Marc Marquez, a sensational ride. Dead last in the first corner. He holds off Fabio Quartararo for 6th place. Quartararo 7th. What a race by those two men. Ducati then thought they were going to have a 1-2. Alex Rins picked second spot from Miller at the penultimate corner. But there is, ladies and gentlemen, your new King of Kota and the World Championship leader, Enea Bastianini. What a race!
And it's a second win of the season for Enea Bastianini. 2 seconds clear in the end of Alex Rins, who pipped Jack Miller just 2 corners from the end. One near 4th the second week in a row, ahead of Pecco Bagnaia and Marc Marquez.
The enthusiasm of MotoGP fans is, as always, overwhelming. Today's result is made even more exciting by the size of the crowd for the 3 riders on the podium right now.